In a chilling development that has sent shockwaves across the United Kingdom, the Huntington train attacker has now been linked to the brutal stabbing of a 14-year-old boy in Peterborough, just 24 hours before the horrific mass stabbing incident that left multiple passengers wounded and a nation questioning its safety. This revelation has ignited a fierce debate about public security, border control, and the very fabric of British society as we know it today. The Cambridge police have confirmed that 3 knife-related incidents occurred in Peterborough on Friday and Saturday, painting a disturbing picture of escalating violence that culminated in the train attack. In the first incident, a 14-year-old boy was stabbed by a man with a knife in the city centre. The force said the teen was taken to hospital with minor injuries but was later discharged. The offender had left the scene when the call was made, and despite a search of the area by officers and a police dog, the offender was not identified. A crime was raised and an investigation commenced, with scenes of crime attending. This individual is now being suspected of stabbing a 14-year-old boy 24 hours before the train attack. A revelation that is absolutely diabolical and absolutely shocking to the core of our communities. The pattern of violence suggests a dangerous individual who was allowed to roam freely, attacking innocent victims across multiple locations before the authorities could apprehend him. Among the victims of the train attack is an English footballer whose identity adds another layer of tragedy to this already devastating incident. Scunthorpe United defender Jonathan Greening is in hospital after the mass stabbing on a train in Cambridge on Saturday. The club has said the Englishman has non-life-threatening injuries, with a statement confirming that he was continuing to receive treatment. The fact that a professional athlete, someone in peak physical condition, could fall victim to such an attack underscores the random and brutal nature of this violence. As more information emerges about this horrific incident and the victims affected, public outrage has reached a boiling point. A passionate news host has captured the nation's frustration in a powerful rant that has gone viral, expressing what many British citizens are feeling but perhaps afraid to voice. She declared that she's had enough of Sadiq Khan and she's had enough of Keir Starmer, launching into an impassioned critique of current policies. It's the government's fault, isn't it? It is the government's fault. All of this is, and I'm going to explain why, she began, her voice trembling with emotion and righteous anger. They took away stop and search because of woke. They actually stopped policing the dealing and possession of psychosis-inducing drugs within certain communities because of woke. Her words resonated with millions who feel abandoned by a system that seems more concerned with political correctness than public safety. She continued, "They leave our borders wide open, enabling foreign cartels to run organised crime, leading to violence on our streets, from snatchings to muggings to stabbings. Because of woke, they've imported in tens of thousands of misogynistic men who want to assault, abuse, leer at, harass, even rape our women and girls because of woke." The stark reality she painted struck a chord with viewers across the nation. And they carry knives. Some of them carry guns. Some of them know how to make bombs. They wear balaclavas. They go about with impunity because they know that they're going to get short sentences because of woke. But it was her personal plea that truly captured the fear and vulnerability felt by ordinary citizens. And what about us? How do I protect myself if the government can't protect me? What have I got? It's not a level playing field. I can't even carry pepper spray. What am I supposed to do? A sitting duck now on a train. Previously a sitting duck walking through the streets of London. Sitting on a tube carriage. Having alfresco dining with my phone, not secreted in my handbag, whose strap has to be tied around the legs of my chair. Her questions echoed the concerns of millions. What am I supposed to do? How am I, a 5'3" woman, supposed to protect myself now against being stabbed, raped, harassed, assaulted, mugged. How? What have I got to protect me? Because I don't have the government. I don't have the police. No, they're patrolling the internet, not our streets, because of woke. The comparison she drew with other nations highlighted the perceived failures of current policies. It's very clear what is going on here. You go to other countries where they have real law and order, proper punishments, proper policing, proper border forces, where they don't buy into this ridiculous, perilous, suicidal ideology of woke because woke is killing us. It's killing us. Her practical suggestions reflected the desperation many feel. What are we supposed to do? I think it's about time we should legalize pepper spray, at least for women. And don't you start going, well, you know, the people who want to commit assaults will start using pepper spray. They're using knives anyway. They're doing everything they can anyway. I got no chance. No chance. The raw emotion in her voice captured the helplessness many citizens experience. If someone wants to come and assault me, snatch my bag, attack me, rape me, harass me, nothing. If I phone the police, they probably won't even turn up. What am I supposed to do? Hide away at home, lock myself in, not get on a train, not come to London. Is that the life I'm supposed to lead in my own country, where I've paid the highest rate of tax for a good part of 20 years? Is that what I deserve in England in 2025? To live in fear, day by day, because these human rights lawyers running the country care more about ridiculous, baseless, nonsensical doctrine of political correctness that has imperiled all of us. Her final declaration was both a warning and a promise. I've had enough, Sadiq Khan. I've had enough, Keir Starmer. I will defend myself. I will find a way. But it's your job. You are negligent. And frankly, it is bordering on criminal negligence. The powerful conclusion of her statement painted a vivid picture of life in modern Britain. Now, when the citizens of your country cannot live in peace and harmony, where the hairs stand up on the back of their necks, where their heart rate increases every time a train pulls into the next station. What have you done? What have you done to this country? Who have you let in? What have you enabled to breed uncontrollably, riddling our streets with crime and terror? You're both disgusting. This passionate outcry represents more than just one woman's frustration. It embodies the collective fear and anger of a nation grappling with rising violence and what many perceive as governmental failure to protect its citizens. The facts she presented resonate with a growing segment of the population who believe that political correctness has compromised public safety. Adding to the controversy surrounding this incident is the debate over its classification. Jeremy Kyle raised critical questions about why the attack wasn't deemed terror-related, pointing out the legal definition and questioning its application. A lot of you saying, why wasn't it called a terrorist attack? Your thoughts on this? The definition of a terrorist CPS, the use or threat, must be for the purpose of advancing a political, religious, racial, ideological cause. The specific actions included are, explain this to me. Endangering a person's life other than that of the person committing the action. Well, he endangered 11 people's lives, creating a serious risk to the health or safety of the public or a section of the public, which is what he did. So was it or was it not a terrorist attack or the police trying to start something? But why are we not being told everything? This questioning of official narratives reflects a growing distrust in how authorities classify and handle violent incidents. The blurring of lines between terrorism and other forms of violence appears to many as an attempt to protect certain communities or downplay the severity of the threat facing British society. The narrative that this was a mental health issue rather than terrorism has been met with skepticism by those who see a pattern of minimising certain types of attacks. The implications of this incident extend far beyond the immediate victims. It represents a watershed moment in British society, forcing a national conversation about immigration, law enforcement, political correctness, and the fundamental right to safety. The fact that a professional footballer was among the victims drives home the random nature of such attacks. No one is immune, regardless of their status or physical capabilities. The broader context of this incident cannot be ignored. Britain has seen a steady increase in knife crime over recent years, with many attributing this rise to reduced police funding, the scaling back of stop and search powers, and what critics describe as a soft approach to crime driven by political correctness. The revelation that the train attacker had been on a stabbing spree for at least 24 hours before the main incident raises serious questions about police response times and the effectiveness of current law enforcement strategies. Communities across the UK are now grappling with a new reality where public transport, once considered relatively safe, has become another arena of potential danger. The psychological impact on commuters cannot be understated. Every journey now carries with it an undercurrent of fear. Every new passenger a potential threat. This erosion of public confidence in safety represents a fundamental breakdown in the social contract between government and citizens. The debate over self-defense options, particularly the legalization of pepper spray for women, highlights the desperation many feel. In a society where carrying any form of protection is illegal for law-abiding citizens, while criminals freely carry knives and other weapons, many feel they are sitting ducks, unable to protect themselves or their loved ones. This asymmetry in the ability to defend oneself versus the ability to attack has created a profound sense of vulnerability among the population. The role of political correctness in shaping current policies has become a flashpoint in this debate. Critics argue that the fear of being labelled racist or discriminatory has paralysed effective law enforcement, allowing dangerous individuals to operate with impunity. The reduction in stop and search powers, once an effective tool in removing weapons from the streets, is cited as a prime example of how political considerations have trumped public safety. Immigration policy has inevitably become entangled in this discussion. While it's important to avoid broad generalizations, the concerns raised about border control and the vetting of individuals entering the country reflect genuine anxieties about public safety. The perception that certain communities are being given special treatment or that crimes are being downplayed to avoid cultural sensitivities only serves to deepen divisions and erode trust in authorities. The mental health narrative surrounding this incident deserves scrutiny. While mental health issues are serious and require appropriate attention, critics argue that this explanation is too often used to deflect from other contributing factors, including ideology, cultural background, and failures in the immigration and criminal justice systems. The rush to attribute violent acts to mental health without thorough investigation can prevent society from addressing root causes and implementing effective preventive measures. Looking forward, this incident and the public reaction to it represent a critical juncture for British society. The passionate plea from the news host, echoing the sentiments of many citizens, cannot be dismissed as mere hysteria. It reflects deep-seated concerns about the direction of the country and the ability of current leadership to ensure public safety. The demand for action, whether through policy changes, increased police presence, or allowing citizens means of self-defence, will only grow louder if such incidents continue. The classification debate, whether this constitutes terrorism or not, speaks to larger issues about transparency and trust between government and citizens. When the public perceives that information is being withheld or that incidents are being downplayed for political reasons, it erodes the very foundation of democratic society. Full transparency and honest discussion about the nature and causes of such violence are essential for developing effective responses. As Britain grapples with these challenges, the voices of ordinary citizens like the news host who delivered that passionate rant cannot be ignored. Their fears are real, their concerns legitimate, and their demand for safety fundamental. Whether through reforming police practices, reconsidering self-defence laws, addressing immigration concerns, or tackling the root causes of violence, action is needed to restore public confidence and ensure that citizens can go about their daily lives without fear. This shocking incident, linking a train attacker to multiple stabbings over a 24-hour period, serves as a wake-up call to a nation already on edge. The involvement of a professional footballer among the victims, the questions about classification and response, and the passionate public outcry all point to a society at a crossroads. The path forward requires honest dialogue, effective action, and a recommitment to the basic principle that government's first duty is to protect its citizens. Only through addressing these fundamental issues can Britain hope to restore the sense of safety and security that has been so dramatically eroded in recent years.